asked Steph yesterday about, we talked so much about the hostile environment and going back to KC all last week, and then Josh goes out and plays like he did. I mean, first primetime game, what was your impressions of how he handled everything?
Josh, that's Eric Allen. I told him, I said, man, I'm about to get rid of these Jordans. I'm about to go put an Eric Allen and get some Eric Allen shoes. You know what I mean? Him jumping over the defender. I mean, that drive right there was just crucial. And it really just showed me like who he was. Like, I mean, you want to talk about a guy that just had, that Mamba mentality, just like whatever I got to do to go down and score this drive and hopefully put this game away. You saw that in him on that drive, and he took matters into his own hands. Plenty of times, even on third down when he jumped over the guy. That just goes to show what type of guy he is, man. He's a special player, and I said that after the game.
Emmanuel, what's the challenge in coming off a win like that one in a primetime game and then trying to not have that letdown?
Yeah,
Especially
100%.
when you got the bye week.
Yeah, so that's the challenge, right? So now we beat the Chiefs on the road, and then we have a bye week coming up, and so that's the narrative, and everybody has to stay focused on. Look, like we got another tough game, right? We got to go play the Titans, which is another great team on Monday Night Football on the road, and who knows, it might be hostile or not. Even though I heard the Bills are gonna be in the building, a lot of them, I hope. But that's the test. But at the end of the day, we got to think about just where we want to be at the end of the season, and so stay locked in, stay focused. And I think that just from a team standpoint, I think Coach McDermott does a great job of allowing guys to speak to the team and speak on leadership. And just from hearing everybody speak and talk, I feel like we got grown men on this team. So I feel like everybody's locked in on the game.
Have you found yourself getting a little bit more vocal this week because you've seen this whole thing play out before?
I feel like everybody's kind of talking. Everybody's like, "Hey, let's stay locked in." Steph's been talking. Everybody's been kind of just keeping perspective. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to the game on Monday Night Football. It's gonna be fun.
The Titans kind of handed it to the Bills last year down there.
Yeah,
so
I
does
heard.
that. Have you heard about that game?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously,
yeah,
does
yeah.
that help? Like it's.
I
Not
mean,
like
I
a
feel like
team.
it's the same narrative in terms of last week versus the Chiefs, right? Like, that loss last year, it didn't hurt as bad as the Chiefs, but people still remember it, and so. Obviously, we reviewed that film, talked about that game and how we can improve and how we can get better, and hopefully it shows on Monday.
You played the Chiefs last year with New Orleans. Does it help at all? Does it? You just have a sense of familiarity, maybe that you've seen
With the Chiefs?
and the Chiefs because you
All right.
saw them last year, or is it a case where you watch so much film, whether you played the Titans last year or you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I think it's just lining up and playing football. Like if you take an NFL team, you say, "Hey, play 5 times," you're gonna get a different game every time. And especially in the NFL, like what's the chances of those teams winning 5 out of those games, right? That's just how it goes in the National Football League, and I'm sure. In watching the game last year, a couple of plays here and there, and then bouncing in their favor, special teams plays, then bouncing in their favor, and the next thing you know, the game got away from you. And so, the good thing is this is a different season, and hopefully we can learn from that, right? We can learn from that, and we'll see on Monday night.
In the last week's game plan dictated a lot of bigger personnel stuff, and Cole had to come off the field a bit because of that. You've known him for such a long time.
Yeah.
How has he responded this week, and what going forward?
Yeah, I think with Cole, obviously, who would want to be on the field more? But at the end of the day, Cole understands that at some point his opportunity is gonna come. But I feel for him. At the end of the day, like he wants to be out on the field. You saw what type of year he had last year. He was all pro. But in speaking with him, he was just saying, "Hey, it's about the team, right?" We went into a hostile environment with the Chiefs, and what Daboll saw was working, and we had to do what we had to do in order to win the game. And so he understands that and respects that.
Drew said in a recent interview that he thinks the Bills are the best team in football right now. They're top to the 10. What's the biggest reason that you think the Bills' offense is so?
Uh, it starts at the quarterback position. You know, we got a talent at quarterback. We got a guy who's smart, a guy with a big arm, a guy who can extend plays, a guy that, obviously when you're a defensive coordinator, you gotta scheme it up. And I think we got a great offensive coordinator. Man, he knows how to dial it up. Him and Josh has great chemistry. Daboll is probably one of the first offensive coordinators I know. I've FaceTime more with him than I've done with any other coach in my career. Like they will be in a hot tub and just FaceTime me just randomly, and me and him will catch up for like 5 minutes. And so, just his personality, I think him and Josh chemistry is just amazing. And so, when they're working and operating together, Josh is thinking like they're usually on the same page. And I think that Brandon Bean and Coach McDermott, they've done a great job, and I've been around the league a long time. They've done a great job of bringing in the right type of guys, the right type of players to build around Josh. It's been a process, right? 4-year process, 3-year process, but they've done an exceptional job of bringing in guys to help Josh, and I just feel like it's all clicking for us right now.
You guys are leading the league in points scored right now, and almost though in every game there's been spurts where maybe you would look at it and say the offense could have done a little bit more, like the third quarter this
In the
past
Chiefs,
game.
yeah.
What do you think about that? I mean, it's kind of amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not playing necessarily perfect, but you're leading the league in points scored. I mean, what's the potential there, I guess?
It's always gonna be games like that, though, right? Like I don't think I've ever been a part of a game where it was like just consistent, like scoring. Or if that's the case, it'd be 100-20, right? Like you just gotta ride the wave. Even in the third quarter, we had a great first and second quarter. I think at one point we had 28 plays, 28 points, right? And then the third quarter we stalled, but everybody on the sideline, and I think Daboll does a great job of preparing us for it. Is just ride the wave of it, because every football game is just gonna go up and down like a roller coaster, but you gotta ride it until you can dig yourself up out of it. And we were able to dig ourselves up out of it and go and score on that. To me, on the game-winning drive to kind of close the game out. And so we all understand that that's the nature of football in general. Like it's not gonna be all highs. It's gonna be some lows, but you gotta stay consistent and just try to work yourself out of it.
I know you guys are head down right now, concentrating on this year, but you mentioned Brian Daboll there and getting to know him. What kind of head coach do you think he would make?
Man, I think he'd be a good head coach. But I'm not gonna make my vote for him, man. I like him as my offensive coordinator, but man, he could be exceptional head coach if he wanted to, if that's something that he wants. But I don't want the media. Oh yeah, if that's what he wants, I think he'll be a great head coach. I mean, look at him as offensive coordinator in the plays he's called. I love Daboll. That's my guy, man. Like I said, I've never had a coach FaceTime me as much as him and chop it up and talk, and I love that dude, man.
Those FaceTimes is most of it. Hey, just quick on that red zone look, X, Y, and Z, or is more of it? Hey, what did you have? What did you
Sometimes
have for
it's
dinner
just
tonight?
no. Sometimes it's just, hey, some want to crack a joke, right? Trying to set me up to crack a joke. I'm like, you're not getting me on this joke right here. And then sometimes it's like 7 at night, and he's like, I just drew up this play right here. I'm like, they will go to sleep, dude. Like, he just wants to show me a play that he's drawing up, but. And yeah, but man, it's all love though at the end of the day when he's calling. So I know that. I know that for sure.
I think that passion from the coaches, so that drives you, drives players more to perform.
100%. Like energy is huge, and so to play with a guy like that, play for a guy like that, it makes you want to go out and play. And not only that, like when you have a relationship, you can play loose. You don't have to play all uptight, and we're a family around here. Like I get family vibes around here. It's not a job; it's a family around here, and we all look after each other.
You talked a lot about how you just want to win, and that's, you've seen a lot, you've been in the league for a while. But when you have those 2 touchdown games, when you perform like that, do you get, what kind of feelings come off of that? Is it still, excite you and all of that?
Yeah, kinda. I mean, I had those 2 touchdowns, and truthfully, I got home. It didn't even feel like it. I think I've been in the league so long, like I'm just doing my job. Like it's weird. Like I wasn't walking around like, oh, I scored 2 touchdowns yesterday. I even saw the ball in my locker. They put one of my touchdowns. Boy, I was like, I don't really need that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. It's not even that I have enough. It's just I don't know. Like I just do what I gotta do to try to win games. Like It's not about me. Like, it's just a touchdown to win games, right? And so, I don't know. It's weird how that happens, but I don't really, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get a high from it anymore how I used to. Like, even like checking I don't care. I just want to win. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that was the best feeling. I think when I was calling and talking about it, it was like we beat the Chiefs. It wasn't I scored 2 touchdowns. It was, we beat the Chiefs. Like, that felt good. But then it was like we beat the Chiefs, but it's week 5. Like, let's move on. We got another Monday night game and let's roll. You know.
Was there a point in your career where that kind of changed, where it was less like, oh, I had 100
Yeah,
yards, whatever?
I mean, you got what talked to me about 2014, 15. Look, I was all about trying to go to Pro Bowl. Like, I'm trying to take care of my family. Like, I'm trying to set me up financially. But now, truthfully, like, I'm just enjoying the ride of being in a great organization and trying to be the best teammate and go out and make my plays and win games and hopefully at the end of it, man, do something special.
Daniel, have you ever clicked with a quarterback as quickly as you have with Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in 14, me and Peyton, we got out to a fast start too. You know, and I think that year I ended up having like 1,400 yards for him. And so, yeah. So I can say, no, never. But I'm sorry. Yeah, me and Peyton clicked pretty well, and me and Jimmy G, we clicked pretty well too. Like, I think this is my second game with the Niners. Like, I had like 125 yards or something. So I think like to answer your question, I just think that when you got like competitors and guys that just want to compete and guys just want to go out and play. At the end of the day, football is football. I can put together a backyard football game right now, and guys who, if you compete, you're gonna see the guys. They're gonna have the right chemistry, and they're gonna try to get the job done to try to win games. And so I think that's what you're seeing out of me and Josh. Is you see he's a competitor, I'm a competitor, and we're just going out trying to win games and make plays and do whatever we got to do to win.